So Cicily and Ayres Newsom, and we're out of Atlanta, Georgia, direct to Brian Delaney. Before SFG, I was working in the restaurant business, doing a little bit of managing, bartending, serving. I was also doing a little bit of real estate. I was like a real estate scout.
Before I came to SFG, right before SFG, I was working with a captive insurance agency, but one of the big ones, you know. And before that, I was also in the restaurant business, and got into insurance because I wasn't going to be a 40-year-old waiter, and I did not have much time to make that move.
And the thing that we really enjoyed about working in restaurants is that we had a lot of time. I mean, there were times where Ayres and I would take a month off and go travel. And you know, it was a great lifestyle in that way, but it was a false sense of freedom, because what we realized is that we had plenty of time, but we were broke on money. We weren't broke on time. We were pulling, you know, maybe 25 hours a week, making $40,000 a year. So there was a point where we realized, wait a minute, you know, there's a big cap on what we can do here. Lots of time, but not really the money to spend doing the things we really wanted to do at that time. Would you say that's fair?
I would, and I would say that what that did, that gave us a lot of time to really dream. Mm-hmm. And we were dreaming big.
Yeah.
We were dreaming big, and what we had realized was that if we kept doing what we were doing, then those dreams weren't going to come true.
Yeah, and we really wanted to own a business together. We worked together in the same restaurant for years, and we really wanted to own a business. We toyed around with several different business plans where we could still have some of that time. We really love to travel. Mm-hmm. That's always been a big thing of ours: food and wine and travel. And you know, when Ayres first left the restaurant business to go work for the captive agency, I thought, well, our dream of owning a business together is over, because I did not want to go into insurance. Yeah. And I, you know, went kicking and screaming, begging him not to go into insurance, and thinking that we would never really be able to have a business together if he was going to commit to doing this. The biggest hurdle for Cicily, her biggest fear, and one of the biggest trepidations for me going into insurance, was just being that greasy insurance agent. And with the captive agency that I went into, you know, it definitely didn't look like that on the outside. It was polished, and then I got inside, and yeah, and that's what it actually turned out to be. I was that guy at the family reunions. Yep,
I was
trying to sell insurance to all of our friends and family, and
still repairing a lot of those relationships right now.
So when Ayres asked me to come to this conference, you know, he made the transition. Brian Delaney actually brought him on in a Taekwondo class. And Ayres had joined that Taekwondo class to try to find friends and family to sell insurance to, and then you know, met Brian and got recruited. But Ayres asked me to come to this conference, and I had been to one other function with the captive agency, and thought, man, if I look up the line and I see the people where we might be 30 years from now, I didn't like the view of those people. And so when he asked me to come here to this first conference, I was really hesitant, like, but okay, I'll be the supportive wife, I'll go with you. And what I saw in that first conference, Casey and Brandon, you know, the videos, the cartoons, the fun, like, and I was like, wow, this is a really youthful company. And I had a change of heart at that point, at least to support Ayres and what he was doing. And
I can say that what we both saw was just a lot of success, which was very different from what the view was where at the company that I was at. And the leads had so much to do with that right away. Having someone qualified that has a mortgage, which means they have income, and then they had actually sent in a letter. I mean, that was a very different scenario than me walking up to a trailer door dressed in a suit and a tie, you know, saying, "Hey, I'm here to review your insurance policies."
Yeah.
Like, that was a very different strategy.
I really feel like Symmetry is trying to breathe new life into a dying industry. Mm-hmm. They're doing that through culture, a culture of transparency, of character, but also of fun and vitality and youth. And when I do introduce this idea to people, I say, you know, we're not really like a typical insurance agency. And I'll just throw out some of the fun things that we do as a group. You know, when we get together for meetings and you know, even sales meetings, we're riding dune buggies in the desert to go fear bonding. You know, we're going on whitewater rafting adventures. You know, and that translates over into the work that we do, because when we go into a home, we can sit and we can come from this place that is doing the right thing for the client, because we're mentally healthy. And I think that Symmetry, really, when I'm introducing the idea to people, I just let them know, hey, you know, it's a $1 trillion industry. Insurance companies hold all the money in the world. If you let go of who you are just for a minute, who could you become by toying around with a different industry that also is full of fun and youth? So that's usually what I like to say.